that he works with kids with, and I'm going to let him tell you all about it.
Hi, thank y'all for inviting me today. We are a nonprofit. All we do is we teach kids how to be safe around firearms, and we teach their guardians how to properly secure their firearms. And we have a unique beginning. I attend what used to be Clifton Church of God. It's now East Spartanburg Church of God. And we had a young pastor come in, Pastor Clint Starnes, and he said, "Folks, it's great that you come to church, but we need to be out in the field doing stuff. So come up with some ministries." And I grew up around guns. I taught all the neighborhood kids about firearms and my nieces and nephews. And I said, well, you know what? I'm just going to ask him, because I've been hearing about, the NRA Eddie Eagle Program.
Right, great program.
And I pitched the idea to him, and he's like, run with it. So we did a few classes at our church, and it's branched out now. We've been to Anderson, to Belton, and all of our classes are free. Because that's our mission, is to teach kids to be safe. We don't want a youth group to miss out because they can't afford it.
Right.
Like we're doing August the 28th, we're going to be teaching at Great Vision Church of God in Cowpens.
Okay.
And our class takes about an hour and a half, because we do the Eddie Eagle, and then we do some McGruff videos, and we build on that.
Okay.
And then while the kids are eating pizza, we talk to the guardians about their responsibility of how to store their firearms properly. I'm a huge Second Amendment supporter, but also we need to be safe.
Right.
So yeah, that's how we got started. And a big thing that helps is volunteers, because nobody gets paid.
Right.
In our group. And then local companies, they'll pitch in to be a food sponsor. So it's really a community effort. So yeah, that's pretty much our beginning.
Yeah. So I know you got a Facebook page. Do you have a website that people could go to check the information out as well?
No, we don't have a website yet. We run real lean, because we're small still.
Oh yeah.
But,
I know the feeling.
Yeah. Yes, sir. But we are on Facebook. Just search Arrowood Firearm Safety and Training, or you can search for me, Curtis Arrowood. I'm the only one on Facebook, I believe. But we post our events there. We post pictures there. We try and have videos to help guardians understand different things. And we do have an email. It's arrowoodfst@gmail.com, and Arrowood is spelled ARROWOOD.
I know you're a huge Second Amendment supporter, and you grew up around guns. What does the Second Amendment mean to you?
It protects all the others. Without that, you don't have your First Amendment. You don't have the others. There's when I served in the military, and they taught me how to be a technician, which teaches you how to take evidence and troubleshoot to a conclusion. So when I got out of the military, I started hearing pros and cons. So I said, okay, I'm gonna go at it as a technician. I went down both paths, pro and against, and it was a landslide. Pro Second Amendment, pro firearms.
Yeah.
One of our goals is to teach age-appropriate firearm training in every grade of every school. That's something we would love to do. We're tossing the idea a little bit with District 3.
Okay.
We're getting some positive feedback, but it's a big feat.
Oh yeah.
That we have to overcome.
Yeah, getting anything gun-related back into the schools is very difficult these days.
Yes, sir. I think part of the there's some that they've done some studies, and they said from 0 to 11, there's 8 times a day that a youth gets hurt with a firearm, and the key to that is training of the youth, training of the parents. You and I grew up around guns all the time. We knew where they were, but our parents taught us, you don't touch them.
Right.
If you want to shoot, go get mom or dad, and they'll take us out and shoot. It was never an issue. Nowadays, a lot of kids, they only hear about it on the news, or they see it on the video game, and then they see a real AR, an AK laying there, or even a revolver, and they want to go touch it.
Right.
Our second level classes We actually have real firearms. They're not loaded, and we have, like I run the cowboy table. I have cowboy guns, and I have my partner in crime, O.J. Hines. He runs the Call of Duty table. There's a video game that the kids love to play, and they have a lot of guns, and he has guns from that game. So they go there and they get to touch them, and but there's no ammo there. So
Right.
But
Yeah. So it's a real safe way for kids to satisfy their curiosity.
yes, sir. And if they have questions, a buddy of mine, he runs the AR table. Well, he's a Marine, so he can answer anything they want to ask about an AR platform, and he knows it. It takes that mystery away. And we've had 2 families that come back and said that their youth come across a firearm and there was nobody around, but the training kicked in and they didn't touch it. So those 2 lives, that just that makes it all worth it.
Yeah.
And those kids did how they were trained.
Yeah.
I've had a 3-year-old come through, and for his 4th birthday, they set him down in front of the birthday cake, and he started singing the Eddie Eagle song. I'm like, yeah, that's a win, And I've had I've had teenagers come through. A lot of times it's because their little brother's with them, but
Right.
it's still good knowledge for them, especially at the end, when they learn. When we're talking to the parents, I scare them a little bit. I show them some statistics of even in South Carolina,
Right.
where kids are getting hurt, and then we give them a gun lock. We give them the NRA safe card that reminds them how to lock it up.
Okay.
We have different books that they can read to their children to reinforce, because it's ongoing. I tell them, doctors don't become a doctor in one class. It takes
Right.
12 years. Firearm training is the same thing.
Right.
You tell a kid one time something, they're not going to remember it. If they're repetitive. That's sort
Yeah.
of what we do in our class. We have cheers, we have dances. For the level 1, we have cartoons, we have some skits with a David and Goliath. We talk about that the rock was not the problem in David Goliath. Goliath was the problem. He was a bully. And we also talk about with the Andy Griffith show, Opie and the Birdman. Well, we talk about how Opie did a bad thing, not the rock. Opie was the one that shot the bird.
Yeah.
To reinforce responsibility
Right.
on the kids. So it's fun. I love teaching that. I guess because maybe I'm on the same mental level as those kids. But I get right in there. I get to have fun. I cut up and it gets more serious with a level 2. But that's when they can get hurt using.
Yeah. Right.
They just know what they saw in the video games or in movies. We cover that the firearms in movies are not real. We have a little video where we show them there's a shootout, and then everybody gets up and high fives each other. We teach them that. The difference between pretend and real.
Right.
And we do that in our 1st level class, and our classes build on each other.
Right.
Right now we have 3 levels. The 2nd level, they learn how to act on a range. They learn the 4 firearm safety rules, and we take them out and let them shoot BB guns till the fingers get tired. Our 3rd level class is, you have to have been through level 1 and level 2. We actually take them to a gun range where we have bolt action 22s that we have them tear them down and clean them, put them back together, take them to the gun range, and they shoot 50 rounds. And when they're done with that, you can pretty much guarantee they're going to be safe.
Yeah. Because if you know more how something works, you're less curious about trying to find something and maybe get in trouble with it.
Yes, sir. We have myself and O.J. Hines, my assistant. We're both NRA instructors, certified. Pretty much all of our volunteers have a CWP. I already mentioned that our dream is to teach all kids. Right now we have 2 dreams that we're working toward, or 2 goals. Daisy makes a 2-lane blow-up gun range that you can take. They're set up so you can use the little Daisy Red Riders.
Right.
So we'd love to have one of those so we can go, pop up outside of Walmart or pop up outside of a Tractor Supply and teach some kids there. That's one of the things we're working towards. And also we're looking to get our own trailer. Right now, when we load up, all of our gear takes about 3 vehicles. So if we can get like an 8 by or a 6 by 12 trailer, and I can pull my truck in to haul everything, because we come in with our own sound system, our own computers, our own projectors. So all you have to do is provide a place.
Just room and electricity.
Yeah, room and electricity. You know, like I said, we feed the kids. We don't feed the kids in the level 3, just because that class is not really long. They've already learned the basics, and we're just taking them to the next level.
Okay. One of the ways that you've got money in the past, Curtis, is the Friends of NRA gives grants to folks like you to be able to buy the material. You remember how much the grant was that we were able to provide for you?
We got double blessed. When we asked for that grant, we had somebody come in and basically pay for everything a month before that grant got through. So I told the Friends of NRA, I said, thank you so much, but I don't want to be untruthful and take your money. But I think it was like $1,500, but y'all were going to pay for all 5 rifles, for a gun safe, tables. We have tents for when it gets hot on the gun range.
Oh yeah.
They were paying for a rifle rest, and it was like right at $1,500.
Yeah.
And I just had to do, it took maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours. Smart people probably do it in 15 minutes. Just fill out the forms and submit your package. But it's got to be, firearm education related.
Yeah, and
stuff like that.
We usually go more toward the 501c3 type,
Yes, sir.
nonprofit. And since you are a nonprofit,
Yes, sir.
it made you eligible
Yes, sir.
for that. But for the bigger items like you were talking about earlier, the Daisy shooting stand or a trailer, Friends of NRA might be able to help you at least get part of the money to be able to
Yes, sir.
to cover something like that.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to ask for it, because that's everything we've done. It's by people helping.
Yeah.
It's not anything I do. I put the need out there, and people always step up. One day I would love to grow it and get us statewide, nationwide. All kids, know how to be safe with a firearm.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the new open carry with training law?
I'm very pro Second Amendment, and I'm pro open carry. Way back when, everybody open carried. Some people considered you a criminal if you wanted to hide that firearm. And currently, if say I'm at Walmart and I reach up to the top of the shelf and my firearm shows,
Right.
somebody can call the cops. They come running, bad guy. With this new law, if my firearm shows, I'm not going to get in trouble.
Right.
There's scenarios where I may open carry. There's scenarios where I won't open carry, but I think everybody has a right to choose.
Right.
And we're one of 46 states that has some type of open carry.
We finally got into the better group rather than
Yes, sir.
than the other group that tries to restrict everything about your life.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Tell me about one of your favorite guns.
I love guns that have a historical piece or they're unique. And one of the guns I like is the Henry Survival Rifle. I think actually when it was first started, it was designed for pilots, and it's an AR platform. I think they call it AR-7.
I think that's right. Yep.
And it looks like a little AR-15, very similar, but it breaks apart, and you can shove everything into the butt stock, seal it up, and they did that because on airplanes you don't have a whole lot of room.
Right.
So you can put that in a backpack. I've actually done it when I go down in the woods. I'll put that in a backpack, and just so I have my hands free. It's a neat little gun for survival. It'll float. So if you're like me and clumsy and drop it in the water, you don't have to go diving. You can just wade in there and grab it. I just like that because it's unique, and the kids love it. We have it on the AR table because we'll have an AR-7, an AR-15, and an AR-10. A lot of people don't know that. They only think AR-15 is the only thing.
Now the Henry, what caliber is it chambered in?
I believe you can get it in 22 and 22 Magnum,
Okay.
but the one I got is 22. One, because 22 is so cheap to shoot.
Right.
Yeah, and it's they call it a survival rifle because you could survive.
Yeah.
You couldn't take big game with it, but you could take rabbits and stuff, smaller stuff.
Yeah, good deal. Well, check out doubleeaglegunworks.com for more information, and like and subscribe down at the bottom, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks. Thanks, Curtis.